Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back to my channel, Jpm.cuisine. Today, I have a very special unboxing for you. They're all special. I always say that because they are all special. But this one, you may have noticed recently on a similar channel, the Knife Nerd has reviewed this, and I'm excited to see how it performs as well. This is the Kitory Warrior series chef's knife, premium high carbon German steel. So without any further ado, let's get into this. So it is made in China. All right, we've unboxed the knife and I imagine it's in a sleeve. So we have a knife in a sleeve. Cool kind of box. We've got the Warrior symbol on it. Again, this was manufactured in China. It is using the proclaimed high carbon German steel. I'm not exactly sure which of the German steels. It doesn't say on the website. Let's see if it says here. It is a precision forge from high carbon molybdenum vanadium steel. It sounds like it's an or an X50 CRMOB 15 or something of that nature, maybe an X30, but typical German steel. Let's go ahead and open this. So we've got the magnets, 8-inch blade. We've got an 8 to 12-inch degree angle, nitrogen cooled, you guys can see. What do we get in the box though? So we've got a message from Kitory. It's a welcome guide, very similar to what we've seen from Dahlstrom. We have the VIP card, very similar to what we see from other knives as well. And we have a microfiber cleaning cloth. And this is from the Night series, but looks like we're from the Warrior series, so whatever. I haven't opened this knife. It came in the packaging as it is, so it looks like it has shifted a little bit from being tussled around during shipping, but it has a knife tip protector, so it doesn't like it sustain any kind of damage. I'm checking really quickly to see if there is anything related to the handle material, and I don't see anything there, maybe in the welcome guide, but if there is, I will post that later for you guys. All right. So we've got the protective sleeve and we have the tip guard. And so let's talk about the fit and finish of this knife. All right, so it is a premium high carbon German steel. It sounds very similar to a lot of the steels I've seen. It feels like Pakkawood style handle. It is a traditional 3 rivet with a full tang. No solid butt, but we got sort of the bolster and then the choil. Doesn't have a full bolster on it, and seams are okay, they're decent. It doesn't seem to, I mean, there could be a little bit more polishing that you could do here and here, but other than that, the back of it is smooth, so that feels really good, but the top and the bottom sort of have that, you can feel a raised edge. Typical tooling marks from the grind and polish there. Let's go ahead and get the weight. So in grams, we have 187 grams, very common for the chef's knives of these types to come in around that. This is the out of box sharpness. Again, the reason I check this is to look for any kind of inconsistencies in the grind and the sharpening from factory. Of course, if you have a stone, you can buff that out and fix it yourself. But for some of us who just want a sharp knife out of the box or expect a level of sharpness out of the box, this is primarily what we test here. So with the magazine, we get a pretty good cut through. Glides through easily on the magazine test. A lot of knives typically will do that. So I'm not seeing any kind of inconsistencies in the ground or in the sharpening of it. Let's go on to the sharpness test 2.0. Go. Very good clean cut through as well. Oh, I think I cut through on the cardboard, not intentionally. It just seems like it's sharp enough to go through. Yeah, so we get a pretty good cut, a pretty good sharpness out of the box from there. Has a pretty good feel, however, the choil feels very sharp. So if you're using a pinch grip, you might have some slight discomfort there. It's not completely rounded, it has kind of like a sharp angle there, but I think they could have polished that just a little bit more. Spine seems to be polished very well. Let's check the rock. So this one, we've got maybe about a 2-inch of solid heel, maybe a little bit more, but this one actually has sort of a high handle, so it feels like it does want to overrock. We don't necessarily get that complete positive lock up there. We get the feel where it wants to dig into the heel and go a little bit further, that I talk about a little bit in some of the other reviews. So if you're doing a rock chop, it just feels like it wants to continue to move. Not a bad thing, especially when you have no choil, but sometimes you want to have, you know, at least like maybe 3 or 4 inches of solid heel so that you can get a good chop. Okay, so let's go ahead and cut into this beautiful tomato and see what we get. Cutting into the tomato, very smooth. I think I'm gonna like this one as well. Give it a wipe down and, oh, let's find that balance. So this one feels, at first it feels kind of blade heavy, or handle heavy, but it's like right there on the, not necessarily on the choil, just kind of in front of the choil. It's a little bit out of balance there. Over there, it kind of not. So I don't know if I can find the balance on this one. Let's see. Not there. Not there. It's kind of ingrained on it. It's kind of an angular balance, maybe a balance point. Yeah, it's too much there. Definitely too much there and too much there. So it's kind of along this line, but because the way that the cutout is on the blade, it's almost like you need to go towards the blade in order to get the balance. So not completely finding the balance in this knife. It just means that the weight from the handle to the tip isn't necessarily evenly distributed across the handle to the blade, so that might affect the way that you feel or the way that you use it. But you know, it's sort of a preference thing. If it's blatantly handle heavy, you may feel more fatigue in terms of using it, and if it's blatantly blade heavy, then you may have a little bit of issue with precision in terms of that it won't feel as nimble. So let's get into the tomato test, and I'm just going to barely grasp it as I cut into the tomato. So we pierce the skin. Okay, that's a good sign. We're cutting through the tomato. A little fast on that one. All right. So we start from the heel on. I'm trying to find that balance point so I can get an even cut. And that's sort of what I look for. So we just drag through. As long as we use the length of the blade, we get a nice cut. But again, the way that I'm doing this, if I can't find that balance, I'm not able to get an even stroke. So I think we can go a little bit thinner. Wipe that knife down. There we go. Nope, I can't get the balance. I'm a little bit thick in this. And that, guys, I mean, it's a sharp knife, but that is the you know, the complete purpose of having that balance, is to see how it cuts through. If you can't get quite the balance on the tomato, then, or through the knife, then you don't get an even cut, and that's what I'm not able to do. It is sharp. You can't deny that this knife is sharp. It is absolutely sharp. It's just not so evenly balanced. It's cutting the tomato, so use that information as you will. It's very sharp out of the box. It just, having that balance off by that much, just sort of produces some of those odd results. Here we go. Yeah, right there. Okay. Well, there you go. All right, well, that is the Kitory Warrior. I believe they are $20 online. I'll post all the information to the knife itself in the description. If you guys have seen this knife and if you've tried it, go ahead and leave a comment. Tell me what you think of this video. Tell me what you think of this knife. Love to have a conversation if you've seen it on another video. I'm very curious to see what your thoughts are from there. Alrighty. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next one. I'm the only host of the show, so you're stuck with me. Just kidding. No, you actually are. Don't say that. Anyways, today I have an unboxing for you. This is a knife that was actually featured on the Knife Nerd. The Knife Nerd. Knife Nerd. Okay. If you've been watching around, blah, blah, blah.